Hello, welcome in. My name's Lemon Pops. Perhaps we've met, perhaps not. If not, welcome in. Pleasure to have you here. I am going to be doing a video today on streaming. I'm going to be talking about my experiences. I'm going to be talking about things I've been through, the lessons I've learned, and really starting with my experience. I've been streaming on Twitch for about 4 years, coming up on 4 years now. And I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot about this industry. I've learned a lot about so many things about production, about the tech side of things. It's been quite a learning experience. As is anything you put 6,000 hours into. So I'm gonna try to take that 6,000 hours and condense it down into something that people can understand, and that hopefully will help you no matter where you're at in your progression on Twitch. And really, what I want to start by talking about is goals. Okay. Understanding what your goals are when you begin to make that realization that you want to make something out of streaming, it's very important to understand what your end goal is, because success can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Success to one person might be putting together a group of 20 for a raid every Friday night or something like that. Like maybe that's people's definition of success. Maybe that's what you want out of streaming. And if that's all you want, then cool. That's something that's not too hard to obtain. But if you want to be the next ninja and have, 30, 40,000 viewers, it's going to take something a little bit more than that. And so it's important to understand how you present yourself and how you tailor your content towards your goals. So using Dr. Disrespect as a case study here, he started in 2016. He started, I think, late spring or early summer of 2016, somewhere in there. And within like 8 months or 4 months or something like that, he was partnered really quickly. He blew up on Twitch. And the reason he blew up on Twitch is because he came into it with a team. He came into it with a business plan. He came into it with a predefined character. He had his schedule laid out. He had his branding created. His character was consistent. He was on point every single day. He did a really good job of capturing a niche market that nobody had really capitalized on. And you can say people like Tyler One at the time were sort of pushing that boundary of being a rage streamer and over the top and stuff like that. But Tyler One's character isn't a character. He's not like well defined. That's just who the guy is. He likes screaming and stuff. So Dr. Disrespect had a different take on it. Not a very different take, but a different enough take that it sold. Now, if your goal is to be massive on Twitch, then you better be prepared to provide something that would draw an audience. And you're going to have to make some sacrifices and some changes to how you present yourself to get to that point. But if you're like most people and you just want to have, a little extra income or a little extra, some sense of community built up around you for whatever your motivations are, you can do that. You can do that, and it's going to take time and it's going to take effort, but it is entirely dependent on who you are. And it's very important to stay true to who you are, I think, on stream. I think that too many people treat it in a customer service aspect. And this is one thing, lesson to people thinking about going full time. I have seen this over and over and over again. When somebody goes full time streaming, they take it with a work mentality. And when you start working, you're not having fun. And when you're not having fun, people don't want to watch because they came to have fun. They came to escape their day-to-day life and have some kind of break from the real world. So oftentimes I'll see people getting super negative on their streams or being toxic or any number of other things, like going on and on about their life and stuff like that. And it's like, I understand that everybody has struggles in life, but your stream, like your business is not the place to cry. Like if you owned a storefront, you wouldn't go in there and just sit in the lobby crying and hoping people came in, and it would make everybody uncomfortable, But that said, too, there are a billion different ways to stream. You can do it however the hell you want. It's literally whoever you are, encapsulating that personality into a brandable image and then putting that out there in a marketable fashion. So again, take yourself, figure out who the hell you are and what you're about, things you like, things you don't like, whatever, then solidify that into some sort of brand around you, and then market the shit out of it. And if it's good, then people will buy it. And if it's bad, then people won't. Now, if you already recognize that you're a shitty human and you won't make it being yourself because you're horrible and nobody likes you, I'd say don't stream in the first place, but that doesn't stop some people. So learn to present yourself in a way, at least, that is marketable, regardless of who you are. And I think Tyler One, again, perfect example of somebody who was terribly toxic, did it in a way that was entertaining, at least. And he did it in a way that was funny, and it sold. People loved it. People ate it up. And of course, there's been a billion more successes on Twitch since Tyler One and Dr. Disrespect. But a big part of it comes down to, and somebody put it to me like this one time, consistency is massive. Consistency is massive because in my experience going around Twitch, I've been to thousands of streams, like probably close to like 5 or 10,000. I don't know. It's a big gap, but I've been to a lot of streams. I've been to like 5 streams a day for 4 years. So minimum of 5 streams a day. And in this time, I've realized that everybody's a lot the same in a lot of ways that we don't realize. I have seen viewers make the exact word for word same compliments to somebody that I've heard in my chat. I've heard other streamers word for word say jokes that I've said. And when you start to see that all over the place, it really makes you go like, I'm not unique at all. Like there's really nothing unique about me. So when you put it in that perspective, you know, obviously that could be a bash on me. Maybe I'm just a generic motherfucker, but more than likely, given the number of people that stream on Twitch, we're really not all that different from another 1,000 people out there, minimum. So it comes down to how consistent you are. Are you on more than the other person is? Are you on at hours that the audience that likes that kind of content is on? I think it was King Goliath or whatever his name is. Somebody will correct me, hopefully. He said during TwitchCon in 2017, he's like, streaming is not if you build it, they will come kind of industry. It's like surfing. You got to go where the waves are. So if your goal to grow past a certain point, or if your goal is to grow past a certain point, you've got to go where the viewers are, and you've got to do what the audience wants. That's one of the big defining differences between somebody who's just trying to make a small community and somebody who's trying to blow up on Twitch. If you want to blow up, you got to go where the viewers are. So that's one piece of advice I can give people out there, because I know I've heard the if you build it, they will come sort of advice. It doesn't work like that here, because you could build the biggest pile of poop and nobody's going to want to watch poop. They're just not. You might find a few people. Probably will. But if your goal is to put out a giant steaming pile of crap and hope people watch it, and you hope to get big, that's where it breaks down. That's that final step. So make sure to tailor your content towards what your goals are. Personally, I've always seen it as being the most honest and real. Like that's like my selling point, I guess, is I always try to be honest with my audience. I always am open. I'm always straightforward. I don't support things that I don't agree with. I have absolutely no customer service in my blood. I will tell you if you're wrong. I will tell you if you're right. I try to be as real as possible, because I think that everybody deserves that level of respect. And I see my audience as people, you know, like in a real way. You know, it's like very weird. It's almost like going to a house party for me every time I stream, you know, where I just get together with the 20 or 30 people I know best. Sometimes more. Yeah, you know. But that brings me to another point. Don't base your worth off your view count. There are plenty of industry executives or not executives, but industry insiders out there who have 10 viewers on their Twitch stream. Okay. So if you go to somebody's channel and you base them off that view count, you may not know that person's the community manager for 1.5 million people and like 6 Twitter accounts. All right. unless the only thing you have going for you is your Twitch stream, then it's not really representative of who you are. And that leads me to the next point. Make sure that you branch out. Okay. When I first started streaming, I was a Twitch streamer. That's what I did. I was a streamer and I streamed, and like, yeah, I had a YouTube and yeah, I had a Twitter, but I didn't do anything with it because I didn't understand the value of those. In today's Twitch market, there is like zero chance, unless you're at the top of a viewer category or you're streaming very long hours to get to the top of a viewer category, that you're going to get many people in off the browse page. It just doesn't happen very much anymore. There are a lot of streamers, especially in oversaturated games. So especially the more saturated game you play, the more you're going to want to focus on those other platforms to draw viewers into your stream. And I'll tell you, YouTube is a fantastic avenue. All right. It allows you to put static content out there that people are able to view 24 hours a day. It's constantly working for you. So the YouTube algorithms and stuff are constantly bringing your content up to people as long as you treat that right. And I'm not going to go into how to do YouTube. There's other videos out on that. Just like I'm not going to go into tech stuff. You know, there's videos out on how to set up a microphone or how to adjust your audio. You know, one little tip, check out videos on cinematography. Hopefully I'm saying the word right. I watched a really interesting video on how YouTubers use their backdrops to make their set look better. And even though this isn't really that flashy, it does create a little visual interest in the piece. You know, I got like a little lamp up there and like, it's not well set up. Okay. I'm not an expert at this stuff, or I'm not necessarily a tryhard when it comes to these things, but creating some sort of visual backdrop for your viewers, if you're not going to use a green screen, is really important. So yeah, take consideration towards those little things. You know, make sure your lighting's good. Make sure your audio's good. Do some audio checks before you go live. You know, record a video, check your music levels, check your game levels, make sure everything sounds good. You want your voice to be prominent above the music or above the game audio. You don't want people just hearing a muffled blur of you speaking. But yeah, I mean, that's just like a little quality tip. So, and that's really important. If you're putting out quality content, you will eventually gain an audience. If you put out quality content and you put out consistent content, you're going to gain an audience. It just happens. But that is a big thing, being consistent. So make sure you don't forget that. Like, consistency can mean a lot of things. It can mean consistently 3 days a week. It can mean consistently posting an updated schedule because your work schedule changes every week. It could mean all sorts of things, but it's important that you stay in tune with your audience and don't leave them hanging and wondering, because I guarantee you, they may not say it, but every night that you don't go live, they're wondering where you are. Somebody out there is wondering where you are and possibly making the decision to go somewhere else because they haven't seen you in, you know, however long. Because that's the thing too. You may go live like 5 nights in a row, but that person who hasn't been able to come for 5 nights is now there on the 6th night. And he's like, man, I haven't seen this guy all week. Like, does he even stream anymore? Yeah, you'd lose a viewer. You lose somebody who's potentially good to your stream. And then if that happens for a couple weeks in a row, you know, you may lose somebody else. And so you don't want to be losing people, especially for some dumb crap that you can fix easily. So keep that in mind. And streaming is not a new industry. People constantly are saying, you know, it's like the Wild West here, you know, and there's a lot of lack of regulation and other things I could go into. But it's not a new industry. The entertainment industry has been around forever. Okay, so being an entertainer or public entertainer of some kind is not new. There's a million ways to do it. I highly recommend, you know, taking a class on improv or something like that, especially if you have difficulty opening up and being a little crazy. Take a class on improv. You know, it will absolutely shake you out of that, at least some, because it's important to be able to stay fluid, and stay adaptive to situations as they come up. You know, if you're just a stone sitting there, that's not going to be very, very entertaining for people. Yeah. What else did I miss? 2 common traps I wanted people to watch out for. All right. Check my notes here. Follow for follow and teams. Follow for follow and teams. Okay. Follow for follow is complete garbage. Don't do it. I'll explain why too, because I think it goes without saying why it's garbage, but I'll explain why. Follow for follow is merely you gaining other streamers' follows in exchange for you giving them follows. It doesn't create viewers. It doesn't create more of an audience. Lurk for lurk falls into the follow for follow category. When you only focus on other streamers for viewership purposes, you're setting yourself up for failure. This was something that happened earlier this year on Twitter, and I'll even say the dude's name, Crankage Games. This guy had a freaking ring of people, and essentially the way this Ponzi scheme worked was, hey, if you check out my content, I've got great advice on streaming. People went and checked out his content. He started growing because people are checking out his content. People then said, hey, look, this guy's growing. Let's tweet his stuff. And he's like, yes, my stuff is working. You can see that I clearly know what I'm talking about. Everybody's, talking about it because it's true, which gets the word out and more people start watching the stream. So he grows more and on and on and on. Well, this only benefits one person. I've seen this before, and this is not the first time that this has happened on Twitch at all. Been at this for 4 years. This is like the 5th person I've seen pull this exact scheme where they get a bunch of brand new affiliate streamers who have like 0 to 5 viewers, tell them that they can be successful. They go support this guy because they believe the crap he's talking. And then eventually people realize that they're not getting anything out of it. They're not growing. All they're doing is supporting this guy. Maybe they don't even realize it. Hell, I feel like a lot of people didn't realize what was going on. But that said, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's an entire Ponzi scheme. Anytime you find yourself being affiliated with somebody else, you got to remember you're helping their brand, not yours. Okay? And that goes the same for teams. That's exactly why I'm segueing into this in the same topic. When you have somebody else offering to put their logo and their stuff on your business, your stream is your business, you got to think about what value that brings to you. Okay? That's just so important. What value are they providing? And game codes, they're kind of a value. But if it's their referral code, it's really not worth your time. You got to imagine maybe 1 in 1,000 people click a referral code. And in order for you to get that referral code, which by the way, you can get a referral code from literally anybody, anywhere, anytime, because all it is you selling their product for them. Yeah, it's not worth your money. It's not worth your time. And especially if they want a lot in exchange for it, it's just not worth it to you in most cases. If you really like the product and you really want to you think your audience would get some value out of that, then sure, use a referral link. I'm sure a lot of people buy Razer products. So if you're affiliated with a Razer, good for you. Is anybody going to click your link? Probably not. But Razer also doesn't demand that you put a giant logo on your stream or a panel below. I really don't think they require you to put a panel below even. So with really it being up to you how you implement a affiliate link like that, it provides you a lot more freedom. And that allows you to at least take advantage of it in a way that makes sense for your community. Because again, this is your business. If you want to succeed at this, you've got to treat it seriously. And if you don't, I am, bro. And there's 10,000 other people like me out here who take it seriously and treat themselves professionally and will do a lot better than probably even I will at succeeding. So you got to remember, even though it's not a competitive market necessarily, even though it kind of is, it's kind of not. You do have to take into consideration what the options are to game publishers and developers and other sponsors. And, talking about sponsorship, the reason I'm bringing that into it is because even if you're small, you want to make sure that the content you're putting out is good enough from the get-go so that your stream grows to the point where you can have sponsorships. And it really doesn't take that long to get to that point. You can easily, like with consistent streams, and fair quality, and then just not being a piece of shit human, you can usually get there pretty easily. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm bashing a lot of my friends right now, and I don't intend to bash anybody. Um, there are some people who just don't seem to have the personality for it, for streaming. And I think that even in their cases, if they took it seriously and said, hey, you know what? Like, I really want to do this, they could go do all kinds of things. You know, if your personality falls flat, then find another avenue. Use a gimmick. Like, put a fucking hat on. Do something funny. You know, like, do weird jingle dances for subs or something like that. Like, I don't know. Like, you can be creative, because if you want to be a creator, then you better at least be creative in some aspect, or at least able to solve problems. And this is a problem. You know, it's not grounds to quit by any means. It's just really, I don't think I'm not gonna use this. This is not gonna work. This is just like a 20-minute rant. I can't do it.